If only there was a video that told me everything missing from this book. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about playing Tyranids in 9th edition when you've only got the 8th edition Codex. Really, you need this book, The Blood of Baal, to play properly, but I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this so you don't have to buy it. So watching this video is going to save you money. I'll also take you through any updates, erratas, FAQs, anything that's important for playing Tyranids. This is your one-stop shop of everything you need to know to play Tyranids in 9th. First thing to do is ignore the points in your Codex because they're well out of date. Best option is to get an app or a website. There's lots of free ones and that'll give you the up-to-date details. Looking at a few of the 9th edition core rule changes that impacts the Tyranids particularly, the best one is that monsters can now shoot into combat. This is fantastic. It means those big bugs are not just going to get tied up in melee. And for the exocrine that stood still, it's firing twice into combat. The last one is for morale and combat attrition for those bugs that are not in synapse range. It's not going to be as impactful as it used to be in 8th. The Blood of Baal book is ace. It's got buffs, stratagems and relics. And I'll go through all the key things that makes Tyranids really good. Starting with adaptive physiology. Essentially, it's a really cool buff that you can use instead of a warlord trait. You'll be able to apply one of these and it makes a massive difference to that unit. You're also able, for 1 CP before the game even starts, select another adaptive physiology so you can have 2 units with it. There's a couple of examples. You've got enhanced resistance, which lets you ignore AP 1 and 2. Adrenal webs, which gives you 2d6 consolidation. Dynamic camo. When you're in cover, you get +2 to your save, not just 1. One of the best ones, Dermic Symbiosis, gives you a 5+ invuln, and for determining the damage bracket, you double the number of wounds. This is great for your big shooting bugs, keeps them resilient. Accelerated Digestion gives you +1 wounds for every model you kill, up to a maximum of 3. And my personal favourite, Murderous Size, which gives you +1 strength, +1 to your damage, +1 to your AP. It's an absolute must on a Smash Hive Tyrant. There are 5 relics, 2 are particularly good. You've got the Resonance Barb for your psychic units, which gives you 1 additional cast and deny for your psychic powers, and you get a +1 to your total cast. Pathogenesis gives you a +8-inch range, and when you overwatch, you get to reroll 1 hit and 1 wound. You get lots of custom Hive Fleet options to actually build your own. Most people are likely to take Kraken because they're fast, or Kronos because you get to reroll 1s. A really common list building technique is to have a Kronos shooting detachment, and then you can pick whatever you like for the rest of your army. Looking at the FAQs and erratas, there's not actually a great deal that's going to affect you in your normal play. The main one is that Old One Eye isn't really worth playing. He's been massively nerfed. When you're looking at the strats in the Blood of Baal, to be honest, there's not that many that are brilliant. The main strat from the Blood of Baal, which you'll probably find you use all the time, is Symbiotic Devastation for 1 CP. It means an exocrine can be treated as stationary, even if it's moved, which is brilliant because then it can double fire. It's worth mentioning some of the key Tyranid stratagems. These are actually all from the main codex, but they're really good, so it's well worth calling them out. You've got Metabolic Overdrive for 1 CP, which lets you move and advance twice. This is great for getting around the board and with secondaries. Overrun for 1 CP. After fighting and destroying a unit, you can move and advance instead of consolidating. Brilliant for hit and run, or hit and then jump on an objective. One that you'll probably use all the time with your big melee bugs. Voracious Appetite for 1 CP. Lets you reroll all wounds. The one that you see played all the time with your Exocrine or your Hive Guard is Single-Minded Annihilation for 2 CP. Essentially, you can shoot again. Opportunistic Advance for 1 CP is a Kraken-specific strat that lets you double your advance roll. This is really good because the effect lasts for the entire movement phase, which means if you use Metabolic Overdrive, this means you can move and advance twice, but you're doubling both advances. With those 2 strats put together, essentially you can get across any board. Other ones of note, you've got Death Frenzy, which lets you shoot or fight again once you've been killed. Caustic Blood. Roll d6 for every model killed, and on 6s you deliver mortal wound back to the attacker. Pathogenic Slime, which increases your damage by 1. You also get a few Hive Fleet specific psychic abilities. For Kraken, you get Synaptic Lure, which lets you reroll charge against a targeted unit. And Symbiostorm for Kronos, 6s to hit is 1 additional hit. You can see how the toolbox has grown for Tyranids. Definitely use all these features. Most Tyranid armies have got melee and shooting now, and they're really fun to play. If there's anything you think I've missed, let me know in the comments. I hope this has been useful. See you again.